Everyone has things to learn and things to teach. With tour directors, guides, business owners, employees who've traveled and operated in cities throughout the world, everyone in our organization has such a unique experience and perspective in our industry. There's so much that we can gain from mentoring one another, like being encouraged and empowered in personal development, being helped to identify and achieve career goals, being helped to identify and correct gaps in generic skills and knowledge, increasing your confidence, and developing and maintaining a broader perspective on career options and opportunities. Typically, I think that mentorship is viewed as a one-sided or sort of one-directional relationship. Our speaker and mentorship coordinator, Scout Jaech, will discuss how IATDG and TourPros intends to facilitate moments of growth for all members. And in that, we'll have two separate mentorship programs, one for IATDG and one for group tour professionals or TourPros, because each has its own unique set of needs, and Scout will talk to you about that. Let me tell you a little bit about Scout, then I'll hand it over to her and stop talking. Scout is a program manager at a global technology company. In her current role, Scout manages readiness and response across product lines to create the best customer service experience possible. Acknowledging the power of social connection in professional and personal development, Scout is involved in multiple networking groups through her work and frequently offers and receives mentorship and resume coaching in a variety of organizations. So without further ado, Scout, take it away.
Thanks, Vaughn. Hi, everyone. My name is Scout, as Vaughn just mentioned, and I'm very excited to speak with you all today. A big thank you to both IATDG and to TourPros for this opportunity. And thank you to all of you here for joining. About 10 years ago, I had a nonsensical dream. My dream was to become a computer repair technician. It sounds a little silly to say this dream out loud to a Zoom full of people who have dreams much different from tech, but what made it nonsensical was not the lack of beaches or museums or culture. My dream to repair computers was nonsensical because I knew nothing about computers. I was an English major. I read books, physical books, not books about computers or books on computers. I'm not entirely sure that at this time in my life, I knew how to turn a computer off and on again. But I wanted to fix computers. I really wanted to fix computers. The idea of me fixing computers activated a little spark inside me. It woke up my soul. So I applied for a job fixing computers, and I made it onto the interview schedule. The day before the interview, excited at the prospect of achieving my dreams, I made my best friend drive with me the hour-long drive just to practice getting to the store. I felt moments away from everything that I had ever wanted. I'm not a huge fan of spoilers, but it should come as no surprise to anyone that I didn't get the job. I interviewed with a polite but quiet man named Thomas, the store manager, who spoke to me for about half an hour. As we were talking, I became very aware of how much I didn't know about my dream and how unqualified I was to fix someone's computer. And just when I thought my dream was unachievable and I was about to be dismissed, Thomas asked if I was available the next day for a follow-up interview. After the second interview, Thomas offered me a job selling computers. Again, I'm not normally fond of spoilers, but I'm going to interrupt the story and let you all know. Nearly a decade later, and as Vaughn mentioned, I still work in tech. I became a certified phone technician because it's a requirement to learn to fix phones before you can fix computers. Then I became a certified computer technician. I taught other people how to be computer technicians. I now have a job where I get to define what it means to fix a computer and how computer technicians should go about that process. And all of these things that I do and that I have done came from that spark that I had 10 years ago, wanting to be a repair technician. This brings me to the first key point I want to share today. We all have a spark inside. That spark can wax and wane over time. This is normal. We need to give attention to our sparks. Fan the flame when it is low. Enjoy the warmth when it is high. I'll come back to that in a bit. When I took the job selling computers, repairing them became a goal, not just a dream. Thomas had taken a chance on me. He offered me a job, and he put me on the path. He clearly wanted me to succeed. I believed I had found a mentor. Thomas, I thought, was going to take my hand and walk me through exactly what I needed to do to achieve my dream. Imagine my surprise when the first time I asked Thomas a technical question, he looked me right in the eye and said, "I know nothing." This happened often. I was selling a product I didn't know how to use, so I had a lot of questions. Thomas had no answers. He answered every question I asked with the same 3 words: "I know nothing." Thomas, while exceptionally unhelpful in the moment a question was being asked, gave me a great gift. I thought a mentor would grab me by the shoulders and march me down the path to my stated goal. Initially, I was confused and frustrated to be left on this path, seemingly without help. My spark waned. But things were not as they appeared. Thomas's strategy taught a value of the company, and my second key point of the day. You are in charge of your own spark. Personal development is personal. The possibilities are limited only by your own nonsensical dreams. I learned to use my resources and get my questions answered. As I gained confidence in my role, my spark returned. I shared my goal of fixing computers with the people that were in a position to help me reach it. I had honest conversations about my talents and my areas of opportunity. I listened to technicians when they spoke to customers and just when they spoke to each other. I watched training videos. I learned what an operating system was. When I found a skill that I needed, I developed it. When I found an area of opportunity that I couldn't overcome by myself, I asked for specific help from someone who knew what to do. Slowly, I progressed. Because I took charge of that effort, my nonsensical dream to become a computer repair technician became reality. When I finally passed my certifications and repaired my first computer, my spark could be described as nothing less than a bonfire. But my story didn't end with that accomplishment. Let's fast forward to the present day. As I mentioned earlier, I now define and create repair procedures for technicians throughout the company I work for. One of my joys at work is how often I come into contact with our internal intern system. Employees at the beginning of their careers spend 3 months helping overwhelmed teams tackle projects. They are excited, motivated, fresh-faced, and often come into their internship with a sense of gratitude and awe. They are hard and diligent workers, about 2 years into their own decade-long journey. And I believe you'll understand the feeling I have when I say this. I want so badly to help these little interns see their sparks become full-on flames. And now here we are at my third and final key point. We all have the ability to enable the dreams of others, if they let us. Mentorship is an invitation. No matter how badly I want to poke and prod and shape an intern into a fully formed person of success, I cannot. Let's remember Thomas, who advocated for my success, but was unable to help me with the key point that I thought I needed the most. Thomas is a strong mentor, and he remains the best manager of my career. He was aware of his limitations in the technical field, and he played to his strengths instead. He offered his team time both before and after our shifts to train. He asked the seasoned sales staff to share their areas of expertise with the whole store team. He prompted discussion on challenging topics. Thomas consistently pointed me and others to the resources we needed to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. Strong mentors invite mentees to turn to them for help. They offer up their expertise, both specifically and in vague terms. As an example, I invite each intern I work with to send me their resume for editing. I invite them to set up time on my calendar to ask questions about my role or to mock interview for the role that they're interested in. Both these things bring some success to my mentees. But what has brought the most success to my mentees is when they take the prompt that I offer of, let me know how I can help, to heart, and they ask me to meet their specific needs. Now, you may be wondering what this has to do with IATDG, Group Tour Professionals, and the new mentorship program. Keeping in mind what we've discussed so far today about our sparks and being the keeper of our sparks and the joy that comes from enabling the dreams of others, IATDG's Mentorship Steering Committee asked, how do we as an organization contribute to the development of our members? After many discussions, we realized that IATDG and Group TourPros are in a position to help facilitate mentoring relationships. If a tour director or guide or DEO feels inspired to grow their spark, we want to provide the resources to do so. So we developed a program to do just that. Here are a few key points. All mentors are mentees. All mentees are mentors. This does not mean that your mentor will also be your mentee. In fact, we will make sure that you are matched with two different people. It simply means that, as Vaughn mentioned, we believe all of our members bring something valuable to conversations about personal development. Mentorship is a form of attention and connection, and it's one that we are all capable of making. IATDG or GTP will match participants based off of their desire to focus on the following 4 focus areas. I will show these in a moment, so don't feel like you have to memorize them. Running your business, getting hired, tour fundamentals, and leveling up. Group tour professionals will use the pillars of business fundamentals, customer experience, online marketing, and local marketing. IATDG and Group TourPros will encourage connection and growth with resources that are geared towards development in their 4 respective pillars. Let me show these again. So this is IATDG's 4 pillars that our mentorship program will focus on: running your business, getting hired, tour fundamentals, and leveling up. And this is Group TourPros: business fundamentals, customer experience, online marketing, and local marketing. We hope that a fairly typical example of the mentorship program in action will look something like this. Now, this example is tailored towards IATDG, but it also applies to Group TourPros. IATDG will have a theme for the mentorship program every month, and we will send out information to the participants about that theme. So, for example, in this hypothetical situation, the theme for the month is marketing yourself. IATDG will send out in their email blast links to a TED Talk and article on interviewing well, an Ask Your Mentor prompt for our mentees. What is a time in your career that you have successfully marketed yourself to a potential employer? This is intended to get a conversation started between your mentee and your mentor. And we'll also send out an invitation to a resume editing virtual workshop with a note to bring your resume and expect to participate in breakout groups led by the experts. Let's get a little bit more specific and say we have mentor Annabelle and mentee Morgan, who are matched and introduced. Annabelle is a relatively new tour director, and prior to joining the tour director world, she worked in marketing as a writer. Morgan has been working as a tour director for several years, but has not yet achieved her goal of working for a specific company. She believes that she needs to work on sharing her successes with potential employers. For the month on marketing yourself, Morgan shares her goal with Annabelle. Annabelle offers to review some of the content that Morgan has created throughout her career. When IATDG hosts a Marketing Yourself webinar, Morgan invites Annabelle as her mentor to attend with her and discuss how it applies to her goals immediately after the presentation. The mentorship program for group tour professionals will be similar, and mentee Morgan will also be expected to take the lead and do outreach to mentor Annabelle and to ask for the support that she needs. After all, as we learned earlier, we are all in charge of our own sparks. I'm proud to be part of the upcoming mentorship program at IATDG and Group TourPros. Although I personally am not a tour director, guide, or DEO, sorry for the noise. They are blowing my front lawn. 1 second. Vaughn, can you still hear me? Can you give me okay, great, thank you. Anyway, although I am not a tour director, tour guide, or DEO, I've been fortunate to spend time with the leadership for both organizations and learn how much they value the professional growth of their members. We look forward to inviting you all to share the resources we have to nurture your sparks, to nurture the sparks of others, and to share your growth with those you work with. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your conference.
So yeah, we're really excited about this mentorship program. I think it's something that'll benefit each organization here. I mean, there's specific needs that, you know, those of you who are tour directors and guides who don't run a business in that way, in the way that TourPros runs it, we can benefit from these programs. And I'm looking forward to that because, you know, it takes us, you know, benefiting from the knowledge that everyone here has. No one else out there has that knowledge really to give us because no one else does what we do. So, you know, the best thing is to learn from our own people. But having someone who's an expert in, you know, facilitating mentorship is a benefit for us, no matter what their background is. You know, the fact that they know the structure of this and how to get this to us and deliver it to us in an effective way is what we're looking to do. So you all will be getting more information about this in the coming weeks. Maybe I shouldn't say coming weeks, Karen, without Karen's approval, because I'm sure she'll let us know when we will, but it will be soon as we start to ramp this up because it's something that especially right now is so beneficial for us. So yeah, so that is what we have as far as mentorship goes.